Hello friends, this is Dr. Shashikant Bagade. With the learning episode of second year B Pharm 4th semester, we will be discussing the topic from syllabus Dispensing and Community Pharmacy. This topic deals with the role of pharmacist in family planning, prevention of communicable diseases including tuberculosis, hepatitis, leprosy, AIDS, syphilis and gonorrhea. Let us have a look at what we are going to learn today in module 1. This deals with introduction of role of pharmacist in health education. Module 2, role of pharmacist in family planning. Module 3, which is all about introduction to communicable diseases, and module 4, which is prevention of communicable diseases. Along with that, prevention of tuberculosis, hepatitis and leprosy, and last module, which is prevention of AIDS, syphilis and gonorrhea. Now let us start with the module 1. This includes introduction to role of pharmacist in health education. Let us start with the general introduction about pharmaceutical care. Nowadays, pharmacists are employed in regulatory control and drug management, community pharmacy, hospital pharmacy, the pharmaceutical industry, academic activities and training of other health workers and research. Let us have a look at the role of pharmacist in health education. Pharmacists could be providing therapeutic drug monitoring services by studying effects of various drugs administered to the inpatients, establishment and maintenance of drug information center and patient counseling services while supplying drugs, maintaining contact with medical staff and the patient. This also maintain nursing department and the central sterile supply unit in the hospital. Pharmacists also involved in counseling patients on medications which are to be self-administered in the hospital regarding the use of discharge of medicines. In general case, the responsibilities include pharmacists should be expected to provide in services and education for the pharmacists, pharmacy students, nurses, nursing students. The central dispensing area also have the role of pharmacist. Here, pharmacists should ensure that proper techniques are used in compounding. Now, let us have a look at role of pharmacist in family planning. Family planning, which is a very important area of concern as the population is very inflated nowadays. Now, the module which is showing this role of pharmacist in family planning is a module 2. Here, the pharmacist is one of the important area or the person who can control rising population by counseling with the people. He can educate the people about advantages of having small families. Nowadays, advanced pharmacies in developing countries serves about 17 million family planning customers. A pharmacist can serve many people beautifully because pharmacy staff serves many customers every day who might be buy contraceptives but who do not visit clinics or doctors, and because demand for the family planning is growing faster in the today's scenario. A pharmacist can acquire and apply this skill for family planning. This will result in effectiveness of family planning programs. In most of the countries, some people go to the pharmacies for family planning supplies through community based distribution programs. Here, pharmacists can offer certain advantages to the customers. Such advantages includes usage suitability, proper selection of product, information and guidance. The fast service to customer is always appreciated and expected. For villagers, the convenience of getting products is appreciated because same is not available easily in government hospitals. Here, pharmacists can avail products to the quick customers. He can promote number of family planning programs, particularly social marketing programs, including use of brochures, posters and other informational printed materials. In the case of pharmacists, may serve to the society in various ways. This include to maintain a reliable supply of contraceptives with a choice of methods and brands, to learn about family planning, advise customers, and accurately and actively involve the customers to sponsor and to attend training or fresher courses on family planning and encourage pharmacy staff to attend the same programs. To set up self-services, displays of condoms, spermicides and oral contraceptives, to learn about local family planning clinics and establish a relationship between all of them, to promote the image of the pharmacist as a provider of family planning supplies and information. Also includes, this could work with pharmacists, organizations to encourage their members to promote family planning methodologies, to promote chances in laws where necessary, allow pharmacists dispensing contraceptive without doctor's prescription, to approve family planning publicly, especially in the media, in collaboration with pharmacy schools to upgrade their family planning programs. Till this point, you got the information about role of pharmacists in health education and family planning. Let's have a look at certain communicable diseases and their prevention. In this, we'll focus on communicable diseases like tuberculosis, hepatitis, leprosy, AIDS, syphilis and gonorrhea. Our next module, module 3, which is all about introduction to communicable diseases. Communicable diseases are caused by infectious agent that can be transmitted to other people from an infected person, animal or a source in the environment. Communicable diseases constitutes the leading cause of health problem in the country. We can have definition of communicable diseases as: communicable diseases is an illness due to a specific infectious agent or its toxic products capable of being directly or indirectly transmitted from man to man, from animal to man, from animal to animal or from the environment to the man. This also includes certain medias, maybe air, water or food. The epidemiological triad for communicable diseases and associated factors which are given in the image which is on your screen. Now, this epidemiological triad has 3 phases, 3 sides. The host side include certain factors which are even responsible or considered during the knowledge of these communicable diseases. The host part includes host genetics, stage of infection, antiretroviral therapy, reproductive tract infection, cervical ectopy, male circumcision, contraception and menstruation and pregnancy. The other part of this epidemiological triad includes environment, and the factors are social norms, average rate of sex partner change, local prevalence and probability of exposure, and last one is social and economic determinants or the risk behaviors. The last part of this epidemiological triad includes agent, and the factors are HIV subtype A, B, C, D and HIV-E, phenotypic differences, genotypic differences and lastly antiretroviral drug resistance. Now, let's take a look at prevention of communicable diseases, which is mentioned in module number 4. Prevention of communicable diseases. In this, we have seen what communicable diseases are. Now, it is essential to know how to prevent these diseases. The goal of medicine are to promote health, to preserve health, to restore health when it is impaired and to minimize suffering and distress. These goals are embodied in word prevention. These diseases can be tackled by application of different levels of health system, which includes successful prevention of communicable diseases depends on the factors like knowledge of cause, mode of transmission and associated risk factors. Now, let us look at prevention of certain diseases including tuberculosis, which is a respiratory disease, hepatitis, which is an intestinal infection, and leprosy, which is considered to be a surface infection, and some sexually transmitted diseases which is known as STDs like AIDS, syphilis and gonorrhea. In module 5, the prevention of tuberculosis, hepatitis and leprosy is to be discussed. Before starting the discussion about prevention of tuberculosis, you must understand what is tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is a disease caused by tiny germs, which is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. That germ enters in lungs when you breathe them in. It is called as TB. In short, a layman's term is TB. The TB germs are most commonly found in lungs, but sometimes they can move to the other organs or other body parts. When you have TB disease of lungs, you can spread it to other people. You can see the figure on your screen. The spread of TB can be easily shown on the screen. The TB germs are passed through air when a person who is sick with TB, or when it coughs, sings, sneezes or laughs. To become infected with TB germs, a person usually needs to share air or air space with someone who is sick with TB disease. For example, live work or play in together. The prevention of TB is possible by providing information to the community leaders, to contact the patient, visiting patients or visiting patients' home by healthcare professionals, to enhance peer group discussion in defaulter tracing, initiating prophylaxis. Isoniazid drug could be given for the children below the age of 6 years having family members with smear positive to the pulmonary TB, which is shorted as PTB. Through vaccination, BCG vaccine, that is Bacillus calmette-guerin, is a vaccine made from live attenuated strain of bovine tubercle bacilli and mostly given at birth for the children with tuberculin test which is positive. It protects children from severe forms of TB and leprosy. It is not given for the children with AIDS. Proper health education cover mouth with handkerchief or piece of clean cloth during coughing and sneezing. Collect sputum in a cup container and bury the sputum and advise not to spit anywhere. Allow the adequate ventilation of living rooms and suggest to drink boiled milk. Practical counseling includes counseling of TB patients and their family if necessary. Practice how to trace defaulter patient and advise them to continue the treatment. The patient should be asked why treatment was discontinued and clearly counseled about the necessity of regular treatment and the danger of discontinuation of the treatment. Creating literature and diagrams showing the routes of transmission, the ways of prevention and treatment of disease, for example, flip charts, blackboards, or listing the symptoms and signs of disease, the phases of treatment and drugs, and how diagnosis is made, promotional video showing how two phases of treatment can be implemented by organizing awareness session in the community. Active community participation is essential for TB prevention and control. To do this, the community should receive the appropriate information. The TB bacilli are killed by DOTS, DOTS, if taken regularly with the recommended doses and cures the disease. During DOTS, patients no longer infectious and therefore not a danger to the family or to the community. Now let us move towards the another disease, that is hepatitis. Before starting the discussion about prevention of hepatitis, you must understand what is hepatitis. Viral hepatitis is a systemic disease with primary inflammation of the liver by one of a heterogeneous group of hepatotropic viruses. There are different types of hepatitis from A to E. You can see on your screen. This shows the table explaining different types of hepatitis, sources of viruses route of transmission, and chronic infection if it is yes or no, and the prevention. This table also shows the route of transmission for hepatitis A to hepatitis E. Usually the fecal matter or the oral contamination is responsible for this infection. This table also includes hepatitis B route of transmission and hepatitis C and D route of transmission. Along with this, hepatitis B, C and D has a very chronic infection. Now this hepatitis virus is transmitted through the modes. Modes include close personal contact, for example, household contact, sexual contact, child daycare centers, then contaminated food and water, including infected food or infected food handlers, raw shellfish, then blood exposure, which is very rare cause actually, injecting the drug or using the transfusion which is infected. Prevention and control of hepatitis include the prevention which is to be made with the strategy to control the hepatitis, and it should be considered with considering the factors which are mentioned as people from endemic regions, babies of mothers with chronic hepatitis B viruses, intravenous drug abusers, people with multiple sex partners, healthcare personnel who have contact with blood or direct blood products, residents and staff members of institutions for the mentally retarded patients. The control treatment of hepatitis include use of interferon for HBeAg antigen positive carriers with chronic active hepatitis. Response rate is 30 to 40% in this case. Alpha interferons 2A, which is a newer and claimed to be more efficacious and efficient. Then the drug includes lamivudine, a reverse transcriptase inhibitor, well tolerated. Most patients will respond favorably to this drug. However, tendency to relapse on cessation of treatment. Another problem is the rapid emergence of drug resistance. Another drug is adefovir, less likely to develop resistance than lamivudine and may be used to treat lamivudine resistance hepatitis B virus infection. Another is itacavir, most powerful antiviral known, similar to the adefovir. It can be prevented by certain means including vaccination also. Highly effective recombinant vaccine are now available in the market. Vaccine can be given to those who are at increased risk of hepatitis B virus infection, such as healthcare workers. It is also given continually to neonates as universal vaccination in many countries. Hepatitis B immunoglobulin. Here, hepatitis B immunoglobulin may be used to protect persons who are exposed to hepatitis B. Other measures include screening of blood donors, blood and body fluids precautions as a precautionary measures. The control and prevention strategy is different for each type of hepatitis. It includes for prevention of hepatitis, first one is diagnosis for demonstration of virus in feces or fecal matter must be performed by immunoelectron microscopy and ELISA, which can be used along with biochemical test. The biochemical test includes alanine aminotransferases, that is ALT, bilirubin and protein estimation. For prevention of hepatitis or hepatitis B, a battery of serological tests are used for the diagnosis of acute chronic hepatitis B. BSAG, that is antigen, used as a general marker for infection. This marker can be recommended for prevention of hepatitis C. There are certain methods, blood screening methods, organ tissue donors, then high risk behavioral modification and blood and body fluid precautions. For prevention of hepatitis D, pre, or post-exposure prophylaxis to prevent hepatitis B virus infection, and education to reduce risk behavior among persons with chronic hepatitis B virus infection. For prevention of hepatitis E, avoid drinking water just like beverages with ice or unknown purity, uncooked shellfish and uncooked fruit, vegetables not peeled or prepared by travelers. The general strategy for prevention and control of hepatitis includes: isolate the hepatitis case, disinfect the feces or fecal matter and fomitides of the patient, follow the personal and community hygienic measures such as washing of hand after toilet and before meals, sanitary disposal of human excreta and using safe drinking water during epidemic time. Needles and syringes should be properly sterilized. Human normal immunoglobulin should be administered to all contacts before or with a week of exposure. Now we are starting the next disease, that is leprosy. Before starting the discussion about leprosy prevention, you must know what is this leprosy. Leprosy is a chronic infectious disease of people caused by Mycobacterium leprae. It is the disease of peripheral nerves and skin. However, other organs and tissues including eye, mucosa of the upper respiratory tract, muscles, bones and testes may include. This can also be involved. There are two types of leprosy: multibacillary leprosy and passibacillary leprosy, and both the type passes through the transmission or transmission phase. Mycobacterium leprae and acid fast bacilli, which is largely found on the colder parts of the body, which includes nose, ear, skin, and discharge mostly with the nasal discharge and form wounds on the skin of multibacillary patients. The incubation period for this includes 9 months to 20 years. Let us see what are the signs and symptoms of leprosy. The symptoms includes nodules, papules, macules and diffuse infiltration are bilaterally symmetrical and usually numerous and extensive in nature. Keratitis and iritis of eyes, single or few skin lesions. The lesions are sharply demarcated, anesthetic. Severe peripheral nerve damage can be observed. Now, we will see diagnosis and prevention of leprosy. This includes, it is to be detected as anesthetic paler skin patch with wipes of cotton, symptomatic detection of enlarged nerves by palpitation with hands, sample positive for detection of acid fast bacilli from smear which is taken from the skin and examined with the microscope. Prevention includes, it can be cured with drugs which are given for a long period of time. Multi-drug therapy could be the solution for this. Consistent treatment of leprosy is needed to enhance healing and prevention of complications. To minimize chances of drug resistance and spread of the disease, the similar treatment can be extended. The multiple drug therapy can be used to minimize chances of transmission. Proper community education and counseling is desired. In this case, it is necessary to minimize stigma and discrimination with the family support. Continuous supply of drug like dapsone is needed and patient need to be allowed for the same. Early diagnostic centers could be set up and it should be established to minimize spread of this disease, and knowledge of presence of disease in specific region can be informed. Proper monitoring for regular daily drug intake and completion of courses of treatment is necessary. Prevention of disease symptoms include, patient need to be counseled for not to walk barefoot, patient must use loose shoes or protection, Regular inspection of food is desired. To treat foot ulcer, proper sanitation procedure must be adopted or must be extended to the patients. Eyes and feet must be protected and clean regularly. The same practice should be involved in education of the public, families and the patients. Leprosy patient must be rehabilitated through proper health education. For this, one can prepare different charts, photographs showing the types of skin lesions, for example, claw hand, foot ulcers, painless wounds, foot drops and weakness of the eyelids. Along with that, various means of prevention can be displayed. There is minimization of infection in 3 months of continuous and regular treatment with dapsone or clofazimine. Module number 6, which is all about prevention of AIDS, syphilis and gonorrhea. Before starting the discussion about prevention of this AIDS, you must understand what is AIDS. AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, which is acquired, not inherited, which weakens the human immune system, which creates a deficiency of CD4 plus cells in the immune system, which is associated with syndromes or a group of illness taking place at the same time. HIV is transmitted by direct contact with infected blood, sexual contact, oral, anal or vaginal sex, direct contact with semen or vaginal or cervical secretions. HIV infected mothers to infant during pregnancy and delivery or during breastfeeding. It is not transmitted by kissing, touching, insect or insect bite, public bath, sharing clothes, etc. AIDS can be prevented by strategies to prevent HIV transmission, including personal strategies, public health strategies, safe practices, no risk of HIV transmission. Risk reduction includes reduces but does not eliminate risk public health strategies to prevent HIV transmission. Screen all blood and blood products, follow universal precautions, educate in safer sex practices, identify and treat others infections or infected persons, provide referral for treatment of drug dependencies, apply the comprehensive PPT-CT approaches, prevent vertical transmission of HIV, minimize malnutrition. General preventive measures includes the major routes of spread are sexual transmission, prenatal transmission, through blood transmission and contaminated needles and perinatal transmission from mother to infant before, during or shortly after birth. Blood and related products to be transfused should be tested for HIV before transfer. Unprotected sexual contact should be avoided. Double epidemic cause include alarming features of AIDS. Epidemic is that more persons are developing tuberculosis of a form that is resistant to the usual drug therapy. Drug treatment includes AZT, which is azithromycin, zidovudine and retrovirus, which is the drug that inhibits the synthesis of reverse transcriptase of the HIV. The drug's benefit usually run out within 18 months. The drug is being marketed in India also. Before starting the discussion about prevention of syphilis, you must understand what is syphilis. It is a chronic occurrence through the primary lesions of syphilis together with regional lymphadenitis. The hard chancre is a single painless ulcer on the genitals, or please see the image which is displayed on your screen, which is showing symptoms of syphilis on various body parts including mouth, lips, face, back or soles of hand and foot, tongue, breast or anal cavity, and it heals spontaneously in a few weeks with treatment. The lymph glands are enlarged and not painful, and no pus formation is there in case of syphilis. The causative organism for the syphilis is Treponema pallidum. There are two types of syphilis, including acquired and congenital type. The prevention and control of syphilis includes: number 1, syphilis can be controlled by avoiding illegal sexual contact. Using condom should be encouraged and it should be used during sexual intercourse. Health education for prevention should be provided at grassroots level at various levels of the society. Penicillin, tetracycline, erythromycin can be given to the patient with physician's advice. Before starting the discussion about prevention of gonorrhea, you must understand what is gonorrhea. The causative organism for gonorrhea is Neisseria gonorrhoeae. It is transmitted by direct sexual contact and has incubation period of about 4 to 10 days. There are following symptoms. There are certain symptoms include, which are usually observed in the infected patient: an acute or chronic purulent infection of the urogenital tract. The signs include: in women, unusual vaginal discharge is observed, unusual vaginal bleeding and lower abdominal pain is also observed. In case of man, painful urination and drops of pus from the penis can be observed. The prevention and control strategy for gonorrhea includes: gonorrhea can be controlled by illegal sexual contact with infected person. Use of condoms should be encouraged and should be used during sexual intercourse. Health education for prevention should be extended and provided at various levels of the society. Procaine penicillin, benzathine penicillin and ampicillin can be recommended with the advice of doctor. Dear friends, till now you have gained a fair idea about pharmaceutical care, its type and elements included. Also, we have seen better ideas about prevention of tuberculosis, hepatitis, leprosy and sexually transmitted diseases like AIDS, syphilis and gonorrhea. You understand that there is a vital role of pharmacist in health education and in prevention and control of such communicable diseases. If you miss any of the module or content of the module, you may cross check through given references and web links so that you can stay updated with all these topics. Here we have seen there is a lot of prevention or preventive measures required to take over communicable diseases. There are certain diseases like tuberculosis, hepatitis, leprosy, which are highly spread in most of the areas of developed and undeveloped countries. Moreover, AIDS, syphilis and gonorrhea, like sexually transmitted diseases, are of major concern in developed countries. The control, prevention of such diseases is the main objective of health education. Through this discussion, we have seen different communicable diseases, their symptoms, causative factors and preventive measures to control over all these diseases. Now, it is a time to all of you to do some self-study. This is Dr. Shashikant Bagade signing off. I will be back with a new topic. If you want to learn more, you may log on to our website for MCQs, quizzes, LORs, and it is www.cec.nic.in.